Good morning, Man Hour Nation. Michael Buckeyser here with the Man Hour Show, manhourradio.com. Check out that merchandise page or check out the blog section as well. Got great things happening over there at manhourradio.com. We got the week pick 4. NFL week 4 pick 'em out there. We got to talk about if and then. A little bit of Packers versus Lions. But first, we always got to start off with.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
Aaron Rodgers is not happy. The man, the myth, the legend himself is simply not satisfied with how the New York Football Jets are playing. Aaron Rodgers has called some players. He has texted them. He has been on social media. He's been on the Pat McAfee show and calling some Pacific players out for the New York Jets. If I said Giants, I meant Jets. My bad. With that being said, Robert Saleh and the other players are okay with Aaron Rodgers calling them players out. He is A-okay with calling them out. Daddy has spoken, ladies and gentlemen. Daddy has spoken. When your daddy is not happy, you fix things. You figure out what is going on inside the old meat noggin there, and you figure it out and you fix it. Daddy says Zach Wilson is okay. Daddy said, you need to perform better. You need to perform better. You need to perform better. You need to coach better. Guys, are you okay with Aaron Rodgers being literally a country away in sunny California calling out players in New York? Are we okay with this? Are we okay with our daddy saying, hey, I may be 5,000 miles away. I may be 3 time zones away, but boy, you better straighten your shit out. Daddy, you have only been my daddy for like 3 months. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, Daddy. Cue that intro.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckeyser here with the Man Hour Show. To head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page or check out the blog section as well. But most importantly, guys, hit on that listen tab. If you're going to miss any part of the show whatsoever and you're driving to work, you're coming from work, you're laying in bed watching the football game tonight, you want to listen to them. How spot on was Buck about the Packers versus Lions? Hit that listen button and hit the play button. You can re-watch or re-listen to the show anytime you want to over there on podcast form. Hit on the listen button there. You can also download it on Spotify, iTunes, and of course, iHeartRadio. But if you like watching it again, we do upload the clips every 3 hours here on Facebook.com/Man Hour NFL Talk. And of course, YouTube.com/Man Hour NFL Talk as well. We got to break down the Lions versus Packers tonight. We're going to give you 3 ways of how each team can win tonight. We got to talk about 0-3 and 1-2 teams moving forward, if and then. We got to talk about Jimmy G. Is it Adrian O'Connell time in Las Vegas? We'll be talking about that. Zeke and the Patriots traveling to Dallas this weekend. Got to talk about that. And the Colts. Colts could be 3-1 without their leading rusher. We got to talk about that on If and Then Thursday here. But first, we have to welcome everybody into the chat, guys. Go ahead and please hit that like button and share this with a couple friends as well. And Anibal Lopez is in the chat today. What is up, my man? What is up? What is up? I am glad to see you again. I'm glad you liked what you saw yesterday. And my man's like, you know what? I need some more Man Hour NFL talk in my life. And then, of course, we got the resident NFL expert. I got my Adrian Hutchinson jersey right here still. Look at that, baby. I still got the Hutch jersey. What's up, John? Good morning to you. Good, sir, as well. Even though Adrian Hutchinson is highly overrated, I still got the Hutch jersey. We got Alpha Rob in the chat as well. I see him sharing it. What's up, Alpha Rob? Thank you for sharing the live feed, guys. Share if you guys can. Go ahead and hit that share button, share button. So, guys, let's get into today's show. We are going to talk about, to start the show off, the Thursday night game of the thing right here tonight. We are going to talk about the Detroit Lions taking on the old mighty Green Bay Packers. I will not be wearing the Detroit Lion jersey today because I'm going for Go Pack Go today. But I got to be biased right here. I got to be nice, straight, level-headed right now while I give you guys how the Detroit Lions can win tonight's game. Obviously, guys, the Detroit Lions have won 3 straight games over the Green Bay Packers over the last several seasons, and the Lions are starting to come back together, right? They had that little week 2 hiccup versus the Seahawks, and last week versus the Falcons, they looked pretty good. They looked really good versus the Kansas City Chiefs week 1. It seems just a long time ago, but that was only 15 days ago. Good Lord. But I got to give you guys 3 ways of how the Detroit Lions can beat the Green Bay Packers tonight. Number 1 is the Detroit Lions have to stop the run of the Green Bay Packers. They have tonight, Aaron Jones will be back. Aaron Jones will be back on the field, so they will have that 1-2 punch with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones tonight. So far this season, the Detroit Lions have only given up 216 yards rushing with 3.2 yards a carry versus a very good Atlanta Falcons team. Yes, the Falcons did abandon the run late, but that is top 10 in the NFL of yards allowed. And the Packers are rushing just over 271 yards this season, 3.4 yards a carry. So if you can stop the run for the Green Bay Packers effectively, early, and often, you are going to win this game. Number 2, the Detroit Lions offensive line is riddled with injuries right now. Taylor Decker will be out. Penny Sewell has moved from the right tackle over to the left tackle from last week. Spoiler alert, Matt Nelson, Penny Sewell's backup, is out and needs surgery on his ankle, and the right guard for the Detroit Lions needs surgery on his ankle as well. So there are 3 guys out right now for the Detroit Lions offensive line. So I think you need to quick pass the game. You need to give confidence in this offensive line and do some quick passes, do some nice little quick screens, do some slants, make it so the offensive line doesn't get exposed over and over again. So some nice quick passes tonight would be nice, but also on the flip side of the coin. And then number 3, you still have to be a balanced offense. Yes, you do have some offensive linemen out, but you do still have Gibbs. Gibbs is a very effective runner. Go back to week 1. He ran the ball very, very well. Obviously, week 2, week 3, you kind of put him on the shelf for whatever reason, but David Montgomery has been leading the way so far this season. 37 carries for 141 yards, but he's expected to be out tonight. Also, Jared Goff is 72 for 103 for 819 yards this season. So keep balance, but also use that quick passing game as well to keep the Packers guessing, right? You still got that deep threat still. You still got St. Brown. You can go deep anytime you want to as well. So those are 3 ways that I think the Detroit Lions can win tonight's game. As Anibal says, the Lions are looking good. Yes, the Lions look really, really well versus the Atlanta Falcons. Was it 26 to win? 20-6 win. I should say they looked very, very well. John thinks they have to play good defense, no penalties, and include Gibbs. I agree with that as well. If the defense plays well and locks down Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers and they jump out early, then you can use and abuse Gibbs, right? Use that rookie. Use those fresh legs. Gibbs has been kind of obsolete the last couple games, but David Montgomery is expected to be out, so I think we'll be seeing a lot of Gibbs tonight. Katie Wilson is in the chat today. What's up, Katie? Hope you're having a grand old day. Thank you for joining us today, Katie. Thank you for becoming a Man Hour member. It is fantastic. Annabelle thinks that Jordan Love can expose the Lions secondary. He thinks the Lions secondary will be exposed. Let's see what I think here. These are 3 ways that I think the Green Bay Packers tonight can win versus the Detroit Lions. Number 1 is I want to see you blitz. I want you to blitz the hell out of this backup offensive line. Like I just said, the Detroit Lions have 3 starters out of this game. Their left tackle, Penny Sewell, has moved from right tackle to left tackle. Penny Sewell's backup is out, and the right guard is out as well. So they have a makeshift backup line right now. Blitz the hell out of them. Use them and abuse them. Get some sacks. The Green Bay Packers only have 3 sacks on this season. I want to see 3 sacks in the first half. Hell, I want to see 3 sacks in the first quarter. I want to use and abuse that offensive line. On the flip side of that, the Detroit Lions have only given up 3 sacks all season long as well. So, kind of fighting fire with fire here, right? They're not getting sacked. We're not getting sacks. I want to see some blitzes. I want to see you get pressure on the quarterback. Number 2, Watson is back. Watson is back. It is time to expose that Detroit Lions defense. Yes, week 1 versus the Kansas City Chiefs, they were excelente. However, since then, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is out with a torn pec, I do believe, but he is out for the rest of the season. They have a rookie, Bam, I forgot his last name, Bam Smith or something like that. They have a good secondary, but they're young and they don't have that swag anymore. Expose them. Jordan Love, eat, baby. Push the ball down the field. You do have Dobbs. You have Watson back. And you still have the running back. Oh, Aaron Jones is back. Push the ball down the field. Expose that secondary. So far this season, the Detroit Lions have only given up 676 yards passing yards this season. I want to see 350-plus yards from Jordan Love tonight. Expose that secondary 100%. And number 3 is you cannot go down big. You cannot go down big. Yes, I want to expose the secondary. Yes, I think Jordan Love will expose the secondary over and over and over again. But I don't want you to be a one-dimensional team. I still want that balanced attack. I still want the A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones to get 10, 12 carries apiece. So don't go down big. Don't be a one-dimensional team like you were versus the Saints. If you go down 17-0 versus the Detroit Lions, I don't care if they have C.J. Gardner or not. I don't care if Adrian Hutchinson is not really playing that well. The point of the fact of the matter is they have a lot better defense than people are making them out to be. The Detroit Lions are not a bad team. You cannot go down big against them. You cannot go down 17-0 and expect the fourth quarter comeback again. So don't go down big and score first. Score first. Jordan Love will expose the secondary tonight, and like Annabelle, you are exactly right on that one. Now, let's flash back to the Detroit Lions week number 1 when they played the Kansas City Chiefs. They looked really, really good. I was very, very shocked of what I seen out of that Detroit Lions secondary. C.J. Gardner-Johnson brought that swag, brought that it factor to the Detroit Lions. But ever since he is gone, they're kind of like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands, right? I think they can get exposed a lot. Run, baby, run, he says. Run, baby, run. Give Aaron Jones the ball. Let him eat. John says the secondary of the Lions get a pick 6 tonight. If the Detroit Lions get a pick six tonight, they will win the game. If Jordan Love throws an interception early, the Detroit Lions will win this game tonight. I bet you're still see that in your sleep, Buck. Yeah. Listen, that Kansas City Chiefs game versus the Lions, it was just an ugly game for the Chiefs. We still had that Super Bowl champion banner that I just hung, that I just got in the mail. So we still have that going for us. But yes, that week one game versus the Detroit Lions was very, very ugly. But guys, who do you have tonight? The Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. If you not have signed up for the week 4 pick'ems, do so already. Link is in the description below. Also on all of our Facebook and social media things, when I post the games up, you can click on the link and you win $100 bills. For a $1 entry fee. But I do have the Green Bay Packers winning tonight. I think the Green Bay Packers will win tonight, and I think they win in a very sloppy matchup. As this game on paper seems to be great. This game on paper seems to be one of the best Thursday night games that we've had in a very, very long time. Spoiler alert, Thursday night games suck. They suck. Spoiler alert, Thursday night games, the home team wins 75% of the time. Spoiler alert, Jordan Love on primetime is undefeated. Just saying. I had the Packers winning this game. It's going to be a sloppy 17-10, 17-13 type of score. A really defensive slug, best, I think. Anibal Lopez is saying, Packers, baby! He likes some Green Bay Packers. John is picking the Lions 27-21. Along with that pick 6, it will be a tie game there, John. So I like it. So, guys, if you're watching here today, let me know. Who are you guys picking in today's game? The Green Bay Packers or the Detroit Lions? And if my memory serves me right, the winner of this game will be first in the NFC North. Whoever thought that would be a 2-horse race? The Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. We do have a bunch of 0-3 teams in the NFC North. That's the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. And there's only been one 0-4 team ever to make the playoffs. And a 1-3 team, only 18 teams have made the playoffs, and one of them winning the Super Bowl. So put that stat in your pipe and smoke it. Bears fans, you're done. Vikings fans, you're done. Bengals fans, you better win this weekend or you're done. You're done. But guys, it is Thursday. It is Thursday. And that means one thing here on Thursday. We do a little bit of if and then. We take it back to 5th grade science class. We got our little poster board up. We cut the back on it. We pop it forward. We get some nice little paper and we write out the questions and then we write the hypotheses and the materials and then the results and then the conclusions. But we're all about hypotheses right here today. We want to give you an if and then statement. So, for example, if I drink this Mountain Dew, then my thirst will be replenished. Something like that. But we give it to you NFL style, baby. NFL style. So we got to talk a little bit about the man, the myth, the legend. We have to talk about the man that has, every time he plays a full NFL season, he leads a team to a championship. We have to talk about Mr. Supermodel, porn-banging Jimmy G himself. But, guys, Jimmy G remains in concussion protocol after getting his ass kicked last week versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is probably going to miss this week's game versus the Chargers. So we have to ask this question. If Jimmy G misses this game versus the LA Chargers, and the Chargers win/look good without him, then what? As you guys know, Jimmy G was with Josh McDaniels in New England. Josh McDaniels had a hand in of getting Jimmy G to New England, right? He loved him some Jimmy G. Josh McDaniels is now no longer the offensive coordinator in New England, was been over to Vegas now, and he is trying to bring in the New England Patriot way. They brought in some receivers. They brought in some quarterbacks. They brought in the culture, right? No murders this year so far. But with that being said, it doesn't matter how good Brian Hoyer looks today. It doesn't matter how good Adrian O'Connell looks Sunday versus the Chargers. Jimmy G is the guy in Las Vegas. Josh McDaniels and Jimmy G are married to each other. Josh McDaniels brought in Jimmy G because he knows that he can win a lot of football games. Guys, so far this season, Jimmy G has 709 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions to 4 sacks with a QBR of 81.4. Those are not very, very good stats. Let's just be honest. This is why the Las Vegas Raiders and Josh McDaniels will forever be mediocre. I'm not saying Jimmy G is a mediocre quarterback. I do like me some Jimmy G. When he, like I just said, when he plays a full season, he leads you to a championship. But he has not played a full season in a very, very long time. He breaks his leg. He gets a concussion. He is consistently hurt, and it sucks. And I feel for the guy, but as a Raiders outsider looking in, right? I'm no Raiders fan. I don't root for them, but I do see what they're doing. I'm like, oh, okay, not too shabby, right? But if the Raiders beat the LA Chargers on Sunday and they look good and they win without Jimmy G, then Jimmy G is still the quarterback. It is what it is. Jimmy G is the quarterback for the Vegas Raiders moving forward. The only way Jimmy G is not going to be the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders at any part of this season if he's injured. This man can literally get his leg amputated, be playing on a nub, on 2 nubs, be 4'5", and still be the quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. Because Josh McDaniels loves him some Jimmy G. He loves him. Adrian, because the offense clicked better with him, ditch Hoyer. Adrian O'Connell is a rookie from Purdue, I think, right, guys? And if Brian Hoyer sucks in the first quarter, I could see me some Adrian O'Connell real quick. But however, McDouche, as you guys like to call him, he had Brian Hoyer in New England as well. So he loves him some Brian Hoyer too. He says, hey, man, I know you're 38 years old. I know you've been on like 7 NFL teams. Come on over to Vegas. Make it 8. Make it 8. McDouche sucks, and I'm a Raiders fan, says John. Josh McDaniels is not a very good coach. Let's just call a spade, right? However, he does have more wins than Justin Fields. I'm just saying. It may only be 8 or 9 wins, right? It's more than Justin Fields. What's up, David? Our resident LA Chargers fan is in the house. He says, Buck, we will win. Charger power. Love it, David. Root for your team the day you die, baby. I love it. I do think the Chargers will beat the Raiders as well, especially with a backup quarterback. And Devontae Adams not wanting there anymore. He's like, I'm tired of these slow starts. I bet you guys, if they lose bad to the Chargers, we could see Devontae Adams saying, hey, Kansas City Chiefs, you need a guy? Hey, Dallas Cowboys, you need a guy? Pittsburgh Steelers, you need a guy? Watch out, baby. Watch out. This would be a miracle as they play in bad football. The Raiders are playing very, very bad football right now. Now, they did keep the game close versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? It was a home game. It was a Sunday night game, right? But they got demolished by the Buffalo Bills. They got murked week 2. They did win week 1 over the Broncos. Jess Esley. What's up, Jess? First time seeing you in the chat. Welcome to Man Hour, baby. This is a live interactive show, live, raw, uncut, so you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. But he says, if we start Adrian O'Connell, Jimmy G will be gone. That kid has the IQ and the arm to get us to at least 8 and 9 this year. Jimmy and our invisible run game won't win 4 games. So this man is saying that Jimmy G, if he were to start the rest of the season, the Raiders are going to only win 4 games. 4 total games. You think putting in a rookie quarterback with a offensive line that's given up sack after sack after sack and a running game that isn't there, your leading rusher from last season, Josh Jacobs, -2 yards versus the Buffalo Bills. Congratulations, man. You want that big deal, but you're going to rush for -2 yards 2 weeks ago? Come on, figure yourself out. I don't know if you buy into the rookie quarterback yet. I have not watched Adrian O'Connell play, so I cannot speak on his arm strength. I cannot speak on his football IQ. I cannot speak on if he's better than Jimmy G or not. Honestly, I did not know Adrian O'Connell was on the Raiders roster still until I believe it was John said something 2 days ago saying it's Adrian O'Connell time. I'm like, wait a second, what? Who is this kid? I still think Brian Hoyer gets a start because he is technically the backup right now. Brian Hoyer and Josh McDaniels go back a little bit. But let's look at the Raiders' schedule moving forward. They do play the Chargers this week at LA. And then at home they play the Green Bay Packers and then the New England Patriots and then the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions both on the road. It looks like their bye week is later in the season. We're looking like, I don't know, week 10, week 11 time frame there. So I feel like if Adrian O'Connell is going to come in and kind of get thrown in the fire, it will be after the Raiders season is completely over. It will be week 7 when they're officially eliminated from the playoffs. I'm kidding, John. I'm kidding. But I feel like the bye week is when most of these teams start making that quarterback changes, right? They give them 2 full weeks to prepare, to get their mind right. Like saying, hey, you are our guy. Get the butterflies out this week. We'll prepare. And then the next week, it is go time. So if Adrian O'Connell is the guy moving forward, it will be after the bye week for the Las Vegas Raiders. Moving forward, I still think it's Jimmy G. John says, I have more wins than Justin Fields. Justin Fields is trash. No, he didn't say that, but yeah. Listen, any other quarterback in the league, Justin Fields, 5 wins in 3 seasons, you would be cut from the NFL. You would be benched. You would be on your 7th head coach in 6 seasons, right? Baker Mayfield. But I don't understand how Justin Fields still has a job. Annabelle says, I hope McLeod can't add what? James is in the chat. He says, Adams already wants out. The only reason he went there was because of Carr and Las Vegas shipped him out. Guaranteed Carr has already went to New Orleans front office and planted a bug in their ear about Adams. As that might be true, the Saints cannot afford anybody right now. They are over the salary cap, and they've had to take pay cut after restructure after this to even keep the team intact the way it is. To start the year before the Cam Jordan deal, they're like $30 million over the cap. So I don't think the Saints can realistically bring in a person like Davante Adams. And the only way I think you would bring in Davante Adams if you are the New Orleans Saints is if you send Michael Thomas out. Because Michael Thomas reminds me of A.J. Brown. He has to be the guy. He has to be, you are our go-to guy in this situation. I don't think Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams could coexist. And the way the Saints are rolling right now, yes, they did have a hiccup in the fourth quarter versus the Green Bay Packers, but they're playing good football right now. Their defense is looking good. Alvin Kamara does come back this week. Their offense is going to get even better. I don't think the Saints can realistically bring in a Devontae Adams and be better. The only way you bring him in is if you send Michael Thomas out, and I don't know how the whole dead cap thing hits or like whatever, but I feel like they could not afford it. So if Devontae Adams truly wants to be out of Las Vegas and just not blowing smoke, it would not surprise me if he tries to go to a Super Bowl contending team. And the Saints are good. I just don't think they're there yet. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contending team. And the Vegas Raiders are not going to let him walk just for pennies on the dollar, right? They're going to want a second-round pick. They're going to want a first-round pick. They're going to want your receiver, right, to replace that. Hell, they might have to throw Hunter Renfrow in the deal because they don't want him either. They don't want a slow white boy. Get him out of town. But we will see. We will see how this week plays out. The next 2 weeks are huge for the Vegas Raiders if Devontae Adams does stay. Let's see what Adrian plays. See what we have. You saw him in preseason, right? You saw what he has. I mean, I feel like if you're putting in a third-string quarterback in week 4 of the NFL season, you are basically saying to your team that we are done for the season. We are tanking for this season. We are still second in the AFC West. We still have a chance to make the playoffs. But you know what? Let's put a rookie in there. Let's see what he got. And screw Jimmy G. Screw Devontae Adams. Like, it just... I see what you're trying to say, Annabelle. And I would agree if it was week 10. If it was week 11. Put the rookie in there. We're already out of the mix. We have no chance of making the playoffs. We have no chance of making the Super Bowl. Put the rookie in. See what you can get for a Devontae Adams like at that point. See what you can do, right? But I don't know. Raiders tank and get Caleb Williams. I could see that if they did not draft a rookie quarterback last season in Adrian O'Connell. They drafted him fairly high, if I'm not mistaken. Let me confirm that. I mean, he was a 4th-round quarterback pick. So, even if the Raiders tried to tank David, I don't think they could get worse than the Chicago Bears right now. I mean, the Chicago Bears are just a shit show dumpster. Let AOC play, says Annabelle. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. Please don't post him as AOC anymore. They don't want Adrian O'Connell called AOC. Listen, AOC is going to be a dog. I don't know. Moving on. Zeke Elliott and the New England Patriots travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys this weekend as Zeke makes an appearance at his past home field for the first time as a visiting running back. So far this season, Zeke has 28 carries on 122 yards. So we got to ask the question. If Zeke outshines Tony Pollard on Sunday, then what? Listen, Tony Pollard so far this season has 62 carries for 264 yards. Zeke has 28 carries for 122 yards this season. So when you look at that, 264 to 122, Tony Pollard's better. Double the carries, triple the carries. Zeke has a better average than Tony Pollard right now going into NFL Week 4. So let's say Zeke Elliott does outshine Tony Pollard on Sunday. Let's say Zeke has 150 yards on Sunday and Tony Pollard has 40 yards on the ground. I can see Cowboys fans right now saying, well, why'd we get rid of Zeke? Why'd we do this? Why'd we do that? Well, let me tell you guys this. You got rid of Zeke because Zeke has not been performing the last couple seasons. Zeke has been a broken wheel, right? He is that left front tire that when you get about 80, you start shaking real bad, right? And you got to slow it back down to about 50 and let it figure itself out and then speed back up. That is what Zeke Elliott has been the last couple seasons for the Dallas Cowboys. Once he starts rolling, he's like, oh, I'm scared. I'm going to get sputtered, and he gets hurt, right? Guys, the Dallas Cowboys made the right choice by releasing Zeke Elliott. They could not afford him. His production was not where it should have been for how much he was getting paid, and running backs are a dime a dozen in the NFL. I don't care if you're Saquon Barkley. I don't care if you're Zeke. I don't care if you're Isaiah Pacheco. I don't care if you're Rashad Mostert. You are a dime a dozen. Let's just be honest. Now, if the Cowboys can replace Zeke with the 6th-round pick in Deuce Vaughn and Tony Pollard, I'm going to take a $1 million running back and a $10 million running back to replace this $18, $19 million running back. That is just the way it is going to be. So if Zeke outshines Tony Pollard on Sunday, then it is what it is. It is what it is. It doesn't matter to me. Yes, Zeke might step up and have a great game. But guess what? The next 3 or 4 games, he's going to be shaking real bad. He's got to slow it back down. Get him another 40 yards. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. Tony Pollard is a really good running back. Zeke was a really good running back. Still is a really good running back. Let's not get it twisted, but the Cowboys made the right choice. How about them Cowboys? John says he won't. Zeke will now outshine Tony Pollard because the Patriots have a nice little 1-2 punch in Stevenson and Zeke. And let's just be honest. The Dallas Cowboys are going to jump on them so freaking early, 21-0 after the first quarter. They're going to have to pass the piss out of the ball anyways. Zeke is only going to get like 5-6 carries. Tony Pollard is better, says Annabelle. Tony Pollard is fresher. I'm not saying he is better. I think they're probably on the same level. But let's talk about this logically. Let's talk about this from a business standpoint. We have 2 employees. Both of them are doing equal amount of work. One I'm paying $18 an hour. One I'm paying $12 an hour. Which one do I want to keep if I got to lay one off? I want to keep the $12 an hour worker because he is young, he is fresh, he wants to strive to be better, he wants to strive to be better in my company, he wants to strive to make that $18 an hour. I'm going to keep the nice, young, fresh kid because he wants to get better. My $18 hour employee has been here for 15 years. He is satisfied of where he is at. He is satisfied with what he has done. You get out of here, my man. Give me $12. Not only am I saving myself money, I'm going to get just the same amount of production, if not a little bit more, and you're going to strive to be better and be better and be better. You're going to work your ass off. You understand what we just did to the $18 an hour person. Get out of here. We don't need you no more. Next young guy comes in. You got Deuce Vaughn and Tony Pollard doing neck and neck, right? Tony Pollard may want that $18 an hour, but he realizes, man, look just what happened to Zeke. He got pushed to the curb because he was making $18 an hour. Maybe I'm satisfied making $12 an hour, still doing my job. The Cowboys made the right choice. James says, in a perfect world, the boys and Pats lose. James. You've been here for a while, my man. We do not wish upon ties on anybody in the NFL, James. You have to pick a winner. If there's a tie, oh, so help me God, I hope you wake up and stub your pinky toe on the side of your bed. How does it feel to be right once in a while? LOL. Dude, I'm always right, John. I'm always right, baby. I've been listening to you for way too long. It's rubbing off on me. Speaking of being right, the Indianapolis Colts, number 10 in my power rankings this week, going into week number 4, they have a chance to go 3-1 on the season without their top running back in Jonathan Taylor. As they do have a date with the LA Rams on Sunday at Lucas Oil Field, they have an opportunity to go 3-1 on the season. Spoiler alert, 75% of the time a team that goes 3-1 in the season makes the playoffs. So we got to ask this question. If the Indianapolis Colts improve to 3-1 on the season without Jonathan Taylor touching the football all season long, then what? Trade talks for Jonathan Taylor, guys, are starting to heat back up. He is eligible to come off IR after week 4 game. He is eligible to be traded, eligible to be back on the field playing, yada, yada, yada. But let's just be honest. The Indianapolis Colts do not look terrible without Jonathan Taylor. Anthony Richardson is looking fairly good. Zach Moss, coming off that broken arm, looking pretty good. Now, they do have some loose ends that they could tie together, right? They could not give up so many points on defense. They could catch some deep balls, right? But, guys, understand this. Jonathan Taylor not only has not touched the ball all season long, he has not been in OTAs. He has not been in minicamp. So basically, this team is acting like Jonathan Taylor is not even there. Steichen is his name, right? The Colts head coach. He doesn't even know Jonathan Taylor's birthday. They have never even had a conversation. So when you have a new head coach, new offensive scheme, and you have not even stepped on the field, with that being said, goodbye, Jonathan Taylor. Yes, we could still be asking for 2 first round picks, sure. I'm not going to change my asking price. No way whatsoever. If Jonathan Taylor doesn't want to play for me on the deal that he is on, hello, pup list. I will put you on the pup list for another 4 weeks and go, guess what? You have to do the franchise tag again next year because this year's invalid. You have to play before week 10 to count as time used in your NFL career. So with that being said, Jonathan Taylor, you better figure your shit out real freaking quick, because if the Indianapolis Colts go 3-1 without you, and they do not get 2 first-round picks for you, you are not going to play this season. You are going to find yourself on the pup list. You're going to find yourself back on the IR list. And we've seen what happened to Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs did not practice in minicamp, no preseason games, and he flat out said, I was in the best shape of my life, and I am just confused of why I'm sucking. Well, you're sucking because the reaction speed and game speed are 2 different things. Jonathan Taylor, it's going to take you a while to figure yourself out. You are hurting yourself in the end. Jonathan Taylor will not step foot on the field if the Indianapolis Colts go 3-1 and beat the LA Rams this weekend. Not going to happen. John says, bye, JT. Bye. Dallas Cowboys are going to kill the Patriots, says David. It's going to be a good game. The Patriots, I don't see Hoffy in the chat today, but he's the Patriots guy. He knew I was going to dog the Patriots, but I got to boost the Patriots up a little bit. They have a really good defense. Bill Belichick always gets his troops rallied up to play some big games. Now, this isn't a big game for the Patriots per se. It is not a conference game. It is not really going to affect them in the playoffs one way or the other, but it is a big game for Zeke, and I think he's going to understand. It is going to be a close game. It is going to be a 21-16, 21-14 type of score. It is not going to be a killing happening. And the ball says, wait, Dallas lost their game? Yeah, they got beat by Arizona. Thanks, John. Call the score for Dallas versus New England. I want a Starbucks if Dallas wins. I'm picking the Cowboys to win. I will call the score for the Dallas Cowboys game versus New England Patriots tomorrow. I need to do a little bit more research, but as of right now, I think it's going to be like a 21-17, 21-14 type of score. I hate to say it, but I think it is. James says, I hate the Patriots, and even I can admit they're better than people are giving them credit for. Yes. If you look at their game so far this season, look who they opened up with. The Philadelphia Eagles. They played the Philadelphia Eagles week 1. Yes, they gave up 16 points in the first quarter, but that second quarter, they come back and kind of held their own, right? Then week number 2, they played against the mighty Miami Dolphins. Second half, only gave up 7 total points to the Miami Dolphins. Last week, they did kind of struggle against the Jets, whatever, but the Jets have a really good defense. But they won that game. Guys, the Patriots are not bad. They have a really good defense. Their offense is still coming together. Week 4, I think, is when we really start to get a measuring point for those teams that have new offensive coordinators, new defensive coordinators. So a team like the Patriots that have a new offensive coordinator, a team like the Bengals that have a new offensive coordinator, the team like the Miami Dolphins that have a new defensive coordinator, right? The team like the Chargers with a new offensive coordinator. We really start to see week 4, everything come together, right? They've had a quarter of the season to really figure things out, and it is time to put things together. It's time to put them up on that pedestal, and this is who you are, right? Week 4 is the point of the season where you're like, hey, this is who we are. No shame about it, but moving forward, this is the way we're going to be. So, example, if the Miami Dolphins do not have a shutdown, lockdown defense this week versus the Buffalo Bills, we are going to stop talking about them being one of the best defenses in the AFC. We're going to stop talking about them being the best defense in the AFC East. They are just going to be a mediocre team. Not team, but defense, right? Patriots. If the things on the offensive side of the ball don't start coming together this week, we have to call a spade a spade. Hey, maybe it's just going to take a little bit more time for the Bill O'Brien effect to take place in Mac Jones. We're just going to have to expect that they're not going to score over 20 points in a game. It's going to be a defensive battle. Dallas Cowboys. We're just going to have to accept the fact that Mike McCarthy is playing a very conservative game. Understand that, yes, they may have scored 40 points against the Jets and 30 points versus the Giants, but maybe they're just a 20-point team. Like, it is what it is. If they lost to Arizona, how can they win against the Patriots? Well, let's see here. At any given Sunday, any team can beat any team, right? If you want to go that route, right? The Buffalo Bills, they lost to the New York Jets. Then they come back and beat the Raiders, and then they lose the next week, and then it is all about matchups. It is all about what is happening in that particular game. So let's flash back to that Arizona game versus the Dallas Cowboys. Thursday afternoon, their top cornerback goes down with a torn ACL. They had a game plan put in for Trayvon Diggs to be there, and then all of a sudden, he is not there. Whole game plan changes. You have one day to figure it out. You don't have time to practice it. You don't have time to fine-tune it. You don't have time to do a lot of stuff. This is why coaching is so tough, because you have this guy that you're expecting to lock down this corner of the field all game long. We're going to press the quarterback over and over and over. And then, oh shit, we have this guy that can't play press man to man. We have this guy that can only play zone. Therefore, we have to play cover 8 coverage on the back. We have to play cover 4 coverage on the back side. Therefore, we can't send Micah Parsons after the quarterback over and over and over. He's got to drop back into flat coverage. It's just, it was just a perfect storm. The Arizona Cardinals were 100% hyped. They played an A+ game. The Dallas Cowboys played like a D game, right? Dak Prescott played a bad game. The defense played a bad game. It was bad coaching. It was a perfect storm for the Dallas Cowboys just to shit an egg. It happens every season in the NFL. Every season in the NFL, somebody just forgets to show up one game or 2 games in a season, and Dallas Cowboys just happened to do it week 1. Cerebral gas. I don't know what that means, John. David says, tell Hoffy to give me a Starbucks. Listen here, we'll be on the Hoffy will be on the after our show on Friday night. We're giving you guys top 10 quarterbacks going into week 4 and top 10 defenses going into week 4 as well. So, David, you be there 10 p.m. East Coast time. That's 6 o'clock your time. Perfect time. Sit back and have a brewski, and we'll bet a Starbucks, baby. Jim says, what are you lying about today? I'm not lying about anything, Jim. I am talking to your boy up, Adrian O'Connell. I'm saying Adrian O'Connell is going to lead them to the promised land. Actually, no. If you missed it, rewind it and listen again. He was talking shit about the Raiders. I was not talking shit about the Raiders. Okay, I was talking shit about the Raiders. But there was 100% facts behind everything that I was saying. Insane. But, guys, I got to go to T-Mobile store. I got to get a new phone. Last night I was messing around with it and I deleted my eSIM card again. I did it Monday night, so that's why we didn't have a show on Tuesday. And then I did it again last night. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's time to get the iPhone 15. It's time to upgrade. Make the other half happy. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Man Hour Nation. Rise up, baby.